Right, in the last video about taking loose artwork, flat artwork out of my drawers and turning them into books or gifts or just putting them into some kind of order, I mentioned that I was about to make a coloring book out of some of my black and white drawings. I actually have another drawer that I can't face this morning. No. And a notebook. Oh, let's see. That might need to come out. What is this? Oh, so much stuff. Drawings. That is what I'm going to do today. But first, I had a dilemma to face. Most of these black and white drawings, these original black and white drawings, are on heavier watercolor paper, and I could make one book out of them, but I think that if I were to gift that to the few people that I plan to gift a coloring book to, that they might be a bit reluctant to color on my originals. And also, if my originals get colored on without having some copies made of them, then I never have these black and white versions, which I really like. So my answer to that dilemma was to go through and copy some of the black and white drawings I had in my drawers that might be appropriate to put in a little coloring book gift for somebody. And once again, I'm using these folded sheets of paper. I've already folded a bunch, and I already trimmed them down a little bit because some of my artwork is just not big enough to fit that. So I have a bunch of these. And I am going to, I'm going to make a template out of a piece of cardstock to trim all of these down so they will fit onto these papers. That's what I'm doing next. Just using a piece of cardboard off the back of a sketchbook, a border around every side, and then I'm going to use this to cut down all my artwork. All right, this is a good template for the artwork. And so on. Okay, I have a box over there that I am using the spray glue over so that I don't get spray glue all over my art room. And I am just gluing these down. I like the spray glue rather than a bottle of glue because it just gives me a nice flat, oh dear, a little bit of glue on there. Dilemma number 2. Do I make one book out of all of these? Or do I head over to the copy place and make a bunch of copies or several copies so that I can make several coloring books for several friends for Christmas? And that's what I do. I think I have to go out today. Oh well. Now I have a bunch of photocopies, and they are one-sided on purpose because they aren't going to be of much use to give them to people like this, because if they color through them, they're so lightweight that they're going to bleed on the back and possibly on a table or whatever's under them. So they need to go onto the heavier cardstock too. So I copied them on one-sided, and now I have enough to make 4, at least 3, maybe 4 little coloring books. I'm going to I made a dreadful error here at this point that turned out to be an opportunity for something fun in this coloring book. I'll explain what I mean here. I taped these heavier pages together, and then in a little while I'm going to realize that I need to trim down the size of the book. And so I end up trimming off the tape on the right side without realizing it, which made the book seemingly not working for a while. I did come up with a very creative and fun solution to this, and so stay tuned. It gets interesting. That's what I love about art. When I got the heavy pages all glued together and stepped back and took a look at it, the edges were really uneven, and so I decided to trim them with an X-Acto knife. And that's not a real hard thing to do. If you just go slow and steady, it generally works pretty well. But for some reason, even though I had a very sharp blade, because I changed it before I started this, I got a little off kilter, and the edges to the book, or the pages of the book, just got worse and worse, and it got smaller and smaller. So now I haven't realized it yet, but I have trimmed off the tape on the right side of each page, and I won't figure that out for a little while, nor will I figure out the solution to this, which is really fun. Stay tuned. I'm really unhappy with this edge, so I end up taking it to a cutter that I have and getting a nice clean cut, which makes the book quite a bit narrower than it was to begin with when it used to fit the art that I had all ready to go on it. All right, live and learn. And I also realized that I'm going to need to trim some of the top and the bottom off to make the artwork look okay, because I've trimmed it so much to the right. So I take it back out to the where I have the cutter, and I cut off some of the top and bottom, and now I have this much smaller coloring book, and some of the pages are not taped together. So here's my solution. I'm going to make a little pocket treasure place for envelopes of treasure. I have to check to see that the envelope fits, and it does. Perfect. Couldn't have planned that. And now I need to glue the top and bottom edge to each one of these pages that are no longer taped together. I'll be back in a minute. And I think this is perfect. This is a photocopy of a floral piece that I did, and it was already in my drawer, already attached to a little heavier piece of paper. So does it fit? Perfectly. Okay. So I am going to trim it down. It pretty much works. Okay, I think I'm done. It's a sweet little gift. And the next two, though, that I am going to make are going to be way simpler than this one. And then we're going to call coloring books done with for a while. But remember, I still have that template that I made in the beginning. So anytime I feel like making a coloring book out of my black and white drawings, I still have them. That was a good idea. All right. All right, I was able to cut the sides down and leaving a little bit of extra cardstock there, but I can't fit this into my paper cutter. So I am going to have to cut it with an X-Acto knife, which is not my favorite thing to do because I keep screwing it up, but oh well. Let's see if I can slow down and get a good clean cut here. Oh wait, I realized I made this one flush with the cardstock, so I've got to make this top one flush. So let's see here. Finishing it off with the scissors because it's getting kind of messy with the X-Acto knife. I think maybe I'll trim that edge down too. I will have to link to the video that shows you how to make these little star displays of your artwork. This was a fun way to make a little coloring book, and you could use it to display any of your artwork. It doesn't necessarily need to be coloring books, but I am just about done with wrapping up my old artwork in my drawers and finding new uses for it, and just organizing my artwork so that I can move on to other things and not be burdened by a massive mess of, or a collection. I guess I can't, well, it was messy. I'll just call it what it is. A massive mess of miscellaneous art that was burdening me to have it in drawers like it was. And now it's in books, and I can give some of it away, and that makes me happy.